Litigation prep eats time. Chronology building, deposition preparation, claim chart construction, first pass brief drafting. The structured work that runs from associate seat to senior partner review. Hundreds of billable hours per matter. Most of it is work the model can do. Some of it is judgment work that only the lawyer can do. The line between the two is what this episode is about. The Litigation Legal plugin, shipped last week as part of the Claude for Legal launch, targets the structured side directly. The panel's view from the launch materials. This is the most production-grade litigation tool any foundation model maker has shipped. One note before the walkthrough. The panel has not yet deployed this plugin on a live matter. Neither, in most cases, has your firm. So today is the panel's informed walkthrough of what the plugin claims to do and where it is likely to work, based on the GitHub repository, the documentation, and senior litigation experience. The deployment report comes in a later episode, after the panel and contacts have run it on real matters for 30 days. Litigation Legal is one of 12 practice area plugins in the Claude for Legal release. It begins, like all of them, with a cold start interview. The interview asks about your matter type mix. Personal injury and class action runs different than commercial arbitration runs different than complex civil. It asks about your jurisdictional defaults, state court versus federal, and the rule sets you most often work under. It asks about your house style on briefs and chronology presentation, and it writes the answers to a local file called claude.md, sitting inside the plugin configuration directory, that every skill on the plugin reads from before it does anything. That practice profile is the difference between the plugin producing a generic litigation output and the plugin producing something that reads like it came from your team. Under Build the Profile, the plugin reverts to broadly competent. Build it well, the plugin starts to read your matters the way your senior associate would. The plugin ships with named agents for the highest volume production workflows in litigation practice. The four the panel walks through today. 1. Chronology Builder. Pull dates and events from a document set. Output a structured timeline. 2. Deposition Prep. Generate question outlines and witness materials against a matter file. 3. Claim Chart Builder. Element by element claim chart in spreadsheet form, citation columns included. 4. First Pass Brief Drafter. Structured first cut of a brief against a research memo and the matter facts. Each one, the panel takes through the same 4 questions. What the work actually is. The panel's view on the plugin's capability. Where the panel expects the gaps to show up. And which connectors matter for that workflow. The work. Take a document set, sometimes 100 files, sometimes 1,000. Extract every date and event. Build a timeline that an associate or partner can review in one sitting. The work that traditionally consumes a senior paralegal or junior associate for 2 to 4 days on a medium complex matter. The panel's view. The capability here is real. The model is strong at structured extraction tasks, and the citation column means every entry traces back to a specific document. Combined with the iManage or Net Documents connector, the plugin reads the documents in place rather than requiring upload. Where gaps likely are. Inferred dates. The model has to decide whether something dated April 15th in a memo written July 1st is a real April 15th event or a post hoc reference. Junior associates make this mistake too. The plugin will need supervision on date inference. Connectors. iManage, Net Documents, Box for document ingestion. Outputs to Excel via the M365, Surface, or to the case management system if connected. The work. Take a witness statement, the matter file, prior discovery. Build a question outline for the deposition. The work that consumes the second chair lawyer for 1 to 2 days per witness, sometimes more on complex matters. The panel's view. The structure of deposition prep is well suited to a managed agent workflow. Identify the witness's likely areas of knowledge. Identify the points of inconsistency in their statement against prior discovery. Build the questions that test those inconsistencies. The plugin is structured around exactly this sequence. Where gaps likely are. Strategic decisions about which inconsistencies to push. Which witnesses to soften and which to break. Which themes to develop early and which to hold for redirect. These are decisions the lead litigator makes from courtroom feel, and no plugin replaces that work. The plugin produces a thorough first draft. The strategic editing is yours. Connectors. Everlaw for discovery integration. Westlaw or Court Listener for precedent on the legal issues the witness will be asked about. The work. Build an element-by-element claim chart. Patent infringement matters. Breach of contract matters with multiple covenants. Statutory claims with multiple prerequisites. The work that traditionally consumes a junior associate for 3 to 5 days. The panel's view. This is the workflow where the panel expects the strongest gain. Claim charts are highly structured. Each row is a claim element. Each column is a fact, document reference, witness, or legal authority. The managed agent output goes directly to Excel through the M365 surface, with citation columns linking back to the source documents. Where gaps likely are. Legal judgment calls on element satisfaction. Whether evidence X meets element Y is the question the lawyer answers, not the model. The plugin populates, the lawyer evaluates. Connectors. iManage or Everlaw for the document set. Excel for the output. Westlaw for the legal authority columns. The work. From a research memo and the matter facts, draft the first cut of a motion brief or a written submission. The structural draft. The work that consumes a junior associate for 2 to 4 days on a substantive motion. The panel's view. This is the highest judgment of the 4 workflows and the one where the plugin should be used most carefully. A first-pass draft accelerates the writing, but the senior practitioner reviews structure, theory of the case, and the cases relied on with full attention. The plugin is for production compression, not for strategic voice. Where gaps likely are. The argumentative voice, the strategic emphasis, the cases that quietly do the load-bearing work. These are partner-level judgments that come through revision, not first draft. Connectors. Westlaw for case research and citation verification. Word through the M365 surface for the draft itself, with track changes preserved across the workflow. Before any of the 4 workflows runs well on your matters, the practice profile needs to be built carefully. That means a real conversation with the setup interview. 45 minutes is not too long. The matter type mix, the jurisdictional defaults, the house style notes, the chronology presentation conventions your firm uses, the brief structure your court favors, the standing instructions you give your associates. Lawyers who breeze through setup get generic litigation output. Lawyers who build the profile carefully get output that reads like a junior associate who has been at the firm for 2 years and knows the house style. The profile sits in Claude.md and survives plugin updates. It compounds across matters. The investment is once, the return runs for the life of the deployment. The Litigation Legal plugin doesn't replace the durable skills the Foundation series has covered. It depends on them. The verification protocol from how to verify every citation applies to every case the plugin cites. The 5 Qs, from 5 Qs to stop Claude inventing cases, applies to every brief draft. The chronology methodology, from how to build a chronology in an afternoon, is the human-readable check on what the chronology builder agent has produced. Reading 200 pages by Tuesday morning, the workflow from Foundations number 4 becomes the senior review check on whether the plugin has identified the most important facts in the matter file. The durable skills are how the practitioner stays in charge of the work the plugin accelerates. If you have not watched the Foundation sequence, watch it before you deploy the plugin. The Foundation skills are the verification layer. Step back from the 4 workflows and look at what the plugin actually does to a litigation practice. It compresses the production work, chronology, deposition outline, claim chart, first pass brief. The work that consumed a junior associate for 1 to 2 weeks per matter now consumes the managed agent runs plus senior review. That changes hourly billing on the production side. It changes associate utilization. It changes the training sequence for junior lawyers who used to learn through exactly the work this plugin now performs. What it does not change: witness preparation in person, strategic judgment, the headline argument, the novel extension, the decision about which fights to pick. All of that remains the lawyer's work. None of it is automated. The implication: firms will bill differently within 12 months. Senior practitioners should start thinking now about how associate training, hourly billing, and matter budgeting change when the production work compresses by an order of magnitude. That was the walkthrough: what the Litigation Legal plugin does, where it is likely to work, and where the lawyer's judgment remains the only thing that gets you home. The deployment report comes in a later episode, once matters have been run through the plugin for 30 days. That episode will name the failure modes the panel finds in practice, not just the ones the panel anticipates from the launch materials. In the next Unpacked episode, the panel goes through commercial legal, the highest volume daily workflow in most in-house teams. Vendor agreement review against your playbook. The sales side versus purchasing side split that determines how the plugin behaves. Where it works, where it falls short, and the setup that actually matters. That's the episode. See you in the next one.